And usually, so I think we're streaming. It's funny. The thing says, "Hi, everybody," in Facebook land in the 2020 Design Power Users Group. This is Colin. I almost said this is your boy Colin, like YouTubers say that, but no. But I said it anyway. So I'm here with Karen, my co-host. Welcome to Designer Spotlight for October 23rd, 2020. And today our guest on the Designer Spotlight is Justine Wiggins. And I'll just give her a little bit of an introduction. So I met Justine. She's on the 2020 Design Advisory Council as well, as Karen is new this year. So we met in Montreal for the first time, and we also hung out a little bit at KBiz. So got to know each other a little bit, got to know a little bit about her and her business. And so she's a designer, kitchen and bath designer. She has her own business, Justine Marie Designs. In what town, Justine?
It's in Renton, but I just say Seattle.
Yeah, so it's in Renton, Washington. So it's just outside of Seattle. She has a really neat new venture that we're going to talk about a little bit today. And she's also an instructor in a kitchen and bath certificate course in one of her local technical colleges. So I'm just going to introduce Justine. How are you, Justine?
Hi, good. How are you?
And how are you, Karen?
Good. Doing good today.
That's good. I just wanted to kind of shake things up a little bit. The last couple of times I tried to do something goofy to introduce the show, and nobody watches it anyway, so why bother? I'm kidding. Justine, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your design history and all that.
Yes. So it's funny because someone this week at a consultation asked me what my background was in, and I was like, interior design. I've only ever been in this industry, other than I was a waitress at one point, which was super fun. But I started out, I was actually 17 when I got my first job in the industry. I had my son when I was young. And so I was like, I got to get it together and get, a career. So I shadowed for an interior designer who actually was my godmother. And I was like, this is so much fun. I love it. So in Washington, I don't know if you guys have this, but we have a Running Start program where you can do college in high school and get college credits for free, basically. So I got most of my interior design degree while I was in high school. And then I just started working for a firm right off the gate, and then got into kitchen and bath design, loved it. And yeah, I decided to open up my own firm, have been the owner of Justine Marie Designs for 3 years now. And then I just started a new business, Dovetailed.
Awesome. Yeah. So, so tell us a little bit about Dovetailed.
Okay. So it kind of started, well, I've always wanted to do some kind of online business. I also am not just a designer. I love business and just the entrepreneur life. I love all businesses and everything. Finance, I'm kind of a geek in that area too. So it all kind of started again with COVID. I was doing a lot of e-design for clients and actually working on full kitchen remodels, in where I'm not even going to the job site. So I've had customers contact me, send me their measure papers. I do their entire design online, and then I even ship cabinets to them and other product. So I was like, why can't this be, an online company, just a separate company? Another reason that I started it is because I've seen a lot of my friends and family members posting their DIY projects lately. And they have a really good sense of style, but the kitchen layout was just not okay. And so I want to make sure everyone can get access to quality design, but not everyone can hire a kitchen and bath designer, and not everyone needs that hand holding. So that's when I created Dovetailed. I just really wanted to make design accessible for everyone. It's not supposed to replace a kitchen designer by any means. It's just supposed to help the DIY community and maybe flippers, real estate agents, get quality design, quality products made in America as well.
Yeah, and that is challenging, isn't it? I mean, so many people have a design sensibility as far as being able to pull everything together look-wise, but are clueless as far as the layout, and that's where people really need help.
Yep. And that's what I start with, in my own business. I always focus on a functional layout first and then plug in the pretty colors. So I just wanted to be able to help. I didn't see any real kitchen e-design company online. I know there's some bigger interior design, e-design companies. And a lot of them were outsourcing too. So I really wanted to keep everything local and kind of small even. So our designers are all local. So yeah.
Yeah. And with the reach of the internet, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stay local. And that's the beauty of it. So how does design work with the dovetailed model?
So with dovetailed, you have three options. You can go with the fundamentals package, which is just line drawings, where a designer will draw up line drawings of your kitchen. You can run with that. But our main option is the designer package, where you go in, you pick your design style. We have 8 preset designs, and I actually have a business partner, Katie, who I've created these designs with. So we pulled together our 8 most popular designs that we see, as kitchen and bath designers. So you have kind of the traditional package, farmhouse, which is Colin's background. It's our Fairfax package. And then, so we pulled together like traditional, modern, mid-century modern, and curated products within those that are as local as we can make them. So once you select your package, then you answer our questionnaire and upload a dimensioned floor plan. And then within 48 hours, one of our designers will create a floor plan, elevations, 3D renderings, and a quote.
That's nice. A fast turnaround.
Yes. And I mean, with that, we can make it fast because we have pre-selected finishes. If you want anything other than the pre-selected finishes, then you go into custom, which is more like what I'm doing in my other business. Yeah.
So and you have a tier for that too, don't you?
Yes, it is the Luxe package.
Yeah.
We're really trying to focus on the designer package. Once we get that package, we actually ship a style box with all of the pre-selected finishes in it as well. And then a customer can use that, they can go with it. They can order everything from that box, or they could say, oh, hey, I like the countertop. I don't like the tile. I'm going to go, wherever I want and source my own product. So it's just kind of an inspiration guide.
I've never actually seen a company send out the samples. I think that's a really great idea.
It's kind of like, I signed up for Stitch Fix.
Yeah. That's right. I remember you told me that. You told me that you had modeled it after that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's neat. So in full disclosure, Justine sent me one of the sample boxes, and it's really cool. Now we probably could be a little bit further apart geographically, but not very much more, because I'm near the East Coast. I'm in New Hampshire, and Justine's in Seattle. So it's just so neat. But it's Belmont cabinetry, right? That you use for the model.
Yes,
you use for the program.
Yep, they are local to.
They're local to you, but they have dealers out here.
Yes.
They have dealers in the Midwest. They have dealers in the Southeast. They have dealers in Texas. So the neat thing is they could go to a Belmont dealer near them and get that exact color, or they could take the curated collection of products to their local design center and pick out something similar. So what's neat about it is, I don't know of anybody that does the design, and probably after the thousands of people that are seeing this, it's going to change, but nobody's really doing the samples along with the design. And that's a really neat idea, because it gives you something that's physical to hold, that, you feel like you got something for your fee, which isn't crazy, but it's, it's a commitment. It's a financial commitment to do this. So, you get something, and it's just, you get something to open. Who doesn't like opening stuff?
I know.
It was fun. So for Justine, because we're friends, I made her an unboxing video of the sample box. So I may or may not post that somewhere, and I may or may not let everybody know about it, because I feel kind of goofy about it. But Justine has it in her hands, and she's going to use it in her marketing, hopefully. So
Yep. And
But
then all of our packaging is sustainable. So we're trying to also, you know, we don't want styrofoam or bubble wrap. We're trying to keep everything as sustainable as possible. And like I said,
it's super sturdy. I mean, nothing was damaged. Everything seemed like it was right in the same location where you sent it. And that you must have spent some time kind of doing like a Tetris, kind of making everything fit together so it didn't move around a lot. And because you have a tile in there, an 8x8 tile, and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
and it goes through the
I was worried about breaking. And actually my business partner, Katie, who owns a couple of showrooms in the Seattle area, she was the one that focused more on the packaging. So she did a really good job with that.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's really neat. So watch for that. I'm kidding mostly. I will post it somewhere, and I contemplated doing it through this, but I'll post it somewhere else. So so how many, so you've had a few of them come in, a few of the orders come in so far?
Yeah. Yep, we've had 3 now. So I'm hoping I'm hoping to be able, we're trying to grow mostly organically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we haven't done any big ad campaigns or anything yet.
Yeah.
But I am hoping to be able to reach the majority of, we're shooting for Idaho, Oregon, Washington, and California at this time. But we can always help anyone anywhere in the country if they need it.
Right.
So hoping to just grow. I've had quite a few. Another reason I started this is because I had quite a few leads come into my business. I'd be talking to them, they had a great project, but then I asked, well, how much are you wanting to spend? And I'd kind of start talking about my design fees, and I would just hear them shut down a little bit, oh, I didn't think you would, that much.
Right.
And it's not a crazy amount. Some people don't even think twice about the design fee, but they just didn't have the funds to, hire a kitchen designer to come in and hold their hand, but they needed help. So I see a need.
There is that in between, because you're not in a home center, and I love my friends from home centers, and they do a really good job. But when you go to a home center, the whole free design model, and there's a lot of discussion in our group and other groups about this. The whole free design model kind of throws everything out of whack, simply because you're going somewhere that has a certain set number of cabinet lines. And so when you go there and you get the free design, you bring your dimensions there and you get your free design. It's based on your budget, but it's also based on the lines that they carry. So there's always that need to have somebody that's detached from that. And I think that eDesign, your model, and other models that I see people at least talking about coming up with are essential, I think, because they fill that gap between, like you said, people come in, they're like, I can't really afford to hire a designer. So it makes it difficult. And then there's the whole, well, okay, well, I'll credit you back if you buy product from me. And I think that helps more people with their concerns, because then it's like, okay, so it's like a flow chart. If this happens and this happens, so so have me design it, pay me a fee, and then if you decide that you want to buy my product, then A happens and you'll get credited that back. And I think most people do it that way. I'd say a high percentage, like maybe 75% of the designers that I've talked to, will credit that design fee back. Some don't. Some say it's a design fee. It's over and above the, architects. That's how architects do it. So that's one way. And then the other way is, okay, if you decide not to go with me, well, then the design is yours. And then you can take it somewhere else and buy the product elsewhere.
Yep. Yeah. So with Dovetailed, we try to keep everything within standard, cabinet sizes, and we're not trying to push product at all. We're just trying to push good design, really.
Right.
And then the product is just a benefit, for them to use as a tool to go wherever they want and get whatever they want. But
right.
Yes, when I see a new kitchen, I look at a lot of like Zillow. I look at all that stuff. I look at houses for sale everywhere. And when I see a brand new kitchen with a bad design where like the cabinets are totally not symmetrical or the range won't open because of, you know, a piece of hardware. It makes me so mad. So I just want good design. That's all I care about for this business. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you also targeted the do-it-yourselfers or the flip market, because it's exactly what you said. A lot of times they don't understand. They'll just say, okay, I'm going to put cabinets here and here and here, but they're not really planning out. They don't understand maybe that oven door is going to run into the pull out that opens or something else. So this way you're really able to help that market.
Right. And I have had a few clients through Justine Marie Designs where they just come to me and order cabinets. They'll just send me a list and they order cabinets. And, you know, a lot of them are that millennial, like age group where they don't really care to go to a showroom. They'll order a sample online. They'll say, yep, this looks good. Let me place the order. Why do you need to come to my house? You know, especially with COVID, people don't want a bunch of people coming out of their house. So it kind of sparked from that as well, kind of trying to target towards more of the millennial group that doesn't need to go and see a showroom.
Yeah. And showrooms in general, I think, will change as a result of all of this. I think that a lot of people are going to rethink their business models because of this whole situation. So I think it's smart that you have, you know, I think everybody should be offering, you know, Zoom calls for the initial contact and Zoom calls for the presentation of the design, and even Zoom calls for, you know, I mean, anybody can take, you know, I'm going to give away one of your secrets if that's okay. The fillers, and you know, fillers are cheap. You know, I see people time and again going, oh, I need to order more samples. No, you need to order a bunch of fillers in the colors that are the most popular of what you sell. And then you cut them into, you know, whatever I think yours are 6-inch lengths, you know, whatever works for you. You can get, you know, if you get an 8-foot filler, which is probably going to be the most economical way of buying a filler, a 3-inch filler, you know, you could get 8, so that's 16 pieces if you do 6-inch pieces. You know, they'd end up being with the before people start commenting and saying, well, you got the saw blade thickness. Okay, fine. It's not going to be 6 inches. It's going to be like 5 3/4 each, you know, or whatever, but it doesn't matter. You get all of those samples out of one, and you do every color that you've sold in the last 6 months and have them handy. And then you drop them into, it's easy to create an account with the Postal Service. You can go to USPS.com, create an account. You can print your postage right from the website on a regular sheet of paper. You get a bunch of the prepaid, you know, either not prepaid, but the boxes from the Postal Service. They're free, you know, if you do priority mail, excuse me. And for like $4, you can send people a bunch of samples and you don't have to go to their house. And then you might need to go to their house to do measuring if you can't do it remotely. I did the one COVID measure I did, and I'm admitting this live in front of 9 people because I see that we have 9 people watching. Yay. We were 4 last week and 4 the week before. So we're up to 9 this week. So thank you, everybody. But I had an error during COVID. I had the homeowner measure and I tried to think of everything. I tried to, you know, we were on FaceTime and they had their tape measure and I had them go back and measure stuff 2 and 3 times sometimes. And I missed one important thing. There was a piece of baseboard heat where there was a run of cabinetry going, and it forced it to have to come off the wall an additional 3 inches. And I had it fairly tight where I was about 1.5 inches from an opening, from a cased drywall opening on the other end. Had to reorder. It was 2 30-inch by 18 pantry cabinets. Pantry cabinets.
Pantry cabinet. Did you pay for that?
What's that?
Did you have to pay for that, or did you have the homeowner pay for that?
Well, I paid for that. Yeah, because it wasn't their fault. Ultimately, it falls on me as the designer. You know, it was. I mean, I suppose looking back, and I said, hey, let's split the cost. You know, but it was, you know, it was just like let's just do this, and I mean, it's actually, you know, it actually only brought my my margin on the whole project down to 20%. So
Okay.
I was still able to, it wasn't a loss. It was it was 20% margin on the project still. So, it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And,
if it was white shaker, you can use it elsewhere.
Yeah, it actually was. It actually was white shaker. Yeah, and it was a 3-drawer base, 3-drawer base 30, reduced depths to 21, and then a wall 33 with mullion doors. So it's something that will be able to be reused somewhere. But
yeah,
it's everything that we do is a risk, and that's why now I'll be like, okay, why don't you guys like go to Dunkin' Donuts, and I'll and Will or Tim Hortons. You have Tim Hortons up in your neck of the woods, right, Justine? Do you have Tim Hortons up there? No. Anyway, no, Starbucks. Duh, Starbucks. Go to Starbucks. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah. No, go to Starbucks and I'll leave the door unlocked. I'll go in and measure, and then by that point you hopefully have enough trust with your client that they're able to do that, and then you've still got a very low contact way of being able to sell locally, and It also increases your ability to sell at a distance. So I think good healthy competition is good for everybody. So you're pioneering this, you're paving the way, and I think other people will obviously do that going forward in various ways. But I was just talking to a friend of mine, Lisa Kirkwood. Hopefully she'll get a chance to see this. She's in North Carolina, and it made me think about curated collections. Let's face it, 80% of the people that go to your website are going to be good with one of those, right? The 80 to 90, but it's the 80-20 rule. I always go by the 80-20 rule. So I think 80% of the people that go to your website are going to be good with one of those, because let's face it, it's a professionally designed, curated collection of products.
Right. And how many clients come to you anyways and say, I want a white shaker, and maybe I'll like jazz it up a bit and do like a gray island and some white marble looking quartz and subway tile.
Right.
I think what's really good about Justine's idea is the fact that also with her plan, they could take it, say if they lived, let's say they live in New York, they could take it to a showroom there, and they really don't have to stay with Belmont. They could buy any brand, correct? Yeah.
Right.
So it's a great concept.
Yeah. Again, it's mostly about the design. And I do still, primarily work in my other business, Justine Marie Design, where I do the, custom design services. So I still I still appreciate that and love doing that too. But like I said, I'm always looking for new.
Now in Justine Marie Designs, is that local more so?
That is local.
Okay.
To mostly the Seattle area, but I do travel. So I've been, I go to Eastern Washington. I have a job in Eastern Washington, almost up by Canada, and then I have a job about 2 hours south of me. So I do travel, but not outside of Washington.
You're not traveling to other states or anything. Okay.
Have you seen the size of Washington?
I drive a lot. I live out of my car, which is why I have all the so like Colin was saying, those fillers are really good tools just because they are inexpensive. But I actually did buy full sales sample kits where I have every single color in my car, and then all the brochures and stuff in my car. And if a customer wants to see a door sample, doesn't want to go to a showroom, I'll order a sample to ship to their house, and then I'll credit it back on their final cabinet order.
Yeah. And then you have a new sample door to add your collection. That's a great way to do it. So one thing I forget to encourage people when telling them that this is upcoming is ask questions. Duh. So I just want to shout out to, there's a few comments. So Sergio said, such a pleasure to see experts like you. Great job. Thank you, Sergio. Angie said, thank you for the reminder. She's probably talking about the reminder I gave at 11 o'clock. And Megan said she loves my background. That's actually Justine's kitchen, one of the kitchens that she designed for this program. So that's why I wanted to put it on there, because that's actually the one that I got the sample box for. You know what? I'm not going to do the unboxing, but I'm going to run and grab it real quick and just kind of show some of the stuff that's in it. So I'll be right back.
Cool. Yeah, this is the Fairfax Cityscape package. So it has like a black painted island, but we also have a denim package where there's a blue island, and the tile and hardware are a little different too.
So now when you do the denim island, you are changing the tile at that point then to a different pattern?
It's a similar shape, but it is more of a blue. Actually,
I'm leaving the room and it's right behind me.
When you change the island to the denim, does the hood stay the natural wood, or are you changing it? Okay, so it's.
And
sorry about that, Ruckus.
Black.
Okay, yeah, it looks super.
This is our farmhouse. We got to fill that.
Oh yeah, that is a really big niche, I would say, right now, is the farmhouse still in my area.
Yep, and this is actually my kitchen layout. I mean, I don't have a wood hood or anything, and my kitchen is like a little bit smaller, but my kitchen is, I mean, my house was built in the 70s, so it's that just L-shaped with an island layout that is common.
So I left the room to get it, and it was literally right behind me. I walked back in there, and I'm like, oh, there it is. So this is the box, and I think I'll be able to get areas where I can show it, because I think if I put it in front of me, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And actually, all you can see is the circle, huh? I'm hesitant to turn off my background because my room looks like heck where I sit. So yeah, no, I'm not turning it off. So it's the Dovetail logo. You can.
I love the logo. I think that's really sharp, isn't it? I think that makes a really difference, having that beautiful logo.
So just a few little things. There's a little card inside that is signed by, I think is that your Katie? Is that your partner Katie that did that? Yeah. So that's really neat. That's what you first see when you open it. And then there's I don't have the little sleeves that held them together, but everybody will see the unboxing video at some point. But these are held together by a sleeve that has the Dovetail logo on a sticker. I'm just gonna, so I can have both hands. So these are the two. I don't think I'll be able to show the white because it's, there we go. Just put it in front of you. I'm starting to learn how to do this, because I can, like, if you put something in front of something else, you can. So and the thing is, when you hand these out, people get the stickiest labels that you can possibly find. Because if they go to a competitor and they want to bring this with them, they're not going to be able to get it off, and they're going to be ashamed. So makes it harder to shop you.
I think it's so important to have the colors labeled, or the door styles or things like that.
Yep, and it has your
really
logo,
going to help them.
And it has your it has your website. So it's nice because you have they'll be like, oh, where did I get that? Oh yeah, it's Dovetail Design. Mm-hmm. So that's really nice. So that's the island color. Cityscape is the island color, and of course white, and it's called white. And so this is Rift White Oak Natural is the hood, and then the countertop, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see that very well, but it's called Monterey. It's a Hanstone color,
which is made in Canada, but still technically North America.
It's North America, right? It doesn't have to travel across the sea to get here. I love this piece. I absolutely love this piece. Are you able to see it pretty well?
It's hard to see.
Let me put something behind it, so I think you'll be able to see it better.
A little bit hard to see.
Yeah, and someone doesn't have to have
the hardware. Back it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
They could do a black.
Not there. Yeah.
Hardware.
You see that?
Yep, I see it now.
So yeah, it's gold. I love gold hardware. I find that a little, we have to talk about 2020 a tiny bit when we can, because it's 2020 group. But and it's neat, they give you the two lengths of screws too, which is nice. I love when a company does that.
Is the countertop a 2 centimeter or a 3 centimeter?
So with the countertop, we're actually partnering with Flowform. So you will get, there's that tile.
There's that tile. That's really pretty.
But we're not going to be providing countertops. We don't want to have
that's too much, yeah.
Really. So we're partnering with, affiliates. So whoever's closest to the job site will get the opportunity to bid it. And then hopefully they'll get the job, and it will help support the fabricators around where they live.
What do you use though in your area? Do you use mostly 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter? What do you use a lot?
3 cm mostly.
You use 3, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I just want to show the packaging. So I love this shredded corrugated stuff. Can you see it? No, huh?
No, can't see it.
There, I see it. I see it.
A little bit. Nope.
It's this corrugated, shredded corrugated stuff. I really need to get a green screen. I really need to get it. This is telling me this is the universe saying you need a green screen. So it's just really neat. The packaging is really good. You know, it was just so cool to get it and open it. So I will post the
Well, as a kitchen designer, just when I get samples, it's like Christmas.
Yes.
So I can imagine for
samples, yeah.
For our customer, it must be like an exciting day. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so fabulous.
Yeah.
Yep. And those, I don't know how long it took to get to you, Colin, but usually they'll, you know, around this area, they'll be delivered within 1 to 2 days of purchasing.
I think priority mail is 3 tops, no matter where it's going in the country.
Okay.
So that's pretty neat, because I'm pretty sure it came in 3 days. It was shipped on a Friday, I think. So of course it had the weekend.
Want things like right away. And one of the things I do love examples, but I hate when they have all the styrofoam and, you know, all of the. Yeah. So it was important for us to have sustainable packaging.
Yeah, I'm doing new lighting right now, and it's where like we have a corner of our garage is all styrofoam, and it's like, what the heck do you do with styrofoam?
I know.
You know, you can't recycle it. There's nothing anyway. So
we were going to talk about 2020. What were you going to talk about?
No, I thought I said something. Anyway, so obviously you're doing your designs in 2020.
Yes.
And you said that the designer package has how many color renderings do you provide at that level?
So it depends on the kitchen. What we try to get is one good rendering of each wall, you know, like an overall, like what you see behind you.
Right.
And then just one rendering of each wall. So this kitchen would have like four different renderings that would come with.
Okay. Yep.
And then 2 revisions. And the renderings will not look exactly like the one behind Colin, because we moved from 2020 to another program to render those.
Well, yeah, you're rendering them for, and I love my 2020 peeps, and I'm in the process of doing a rendering project for 2020 right now. You know, it pushing 2020 to its absolute limits, you can get really, really near reality quality, but it's a lot of work. I'm going to be honest, but that's okay, because that's not necessarily 2020's market. But you can make it sing and dance and do tricks. And we all know, you know, like Tony, you know, Tony Johnson and some other folks can do really, really good renderings. But, you know, that's something that, you know, when you're selling, 2020 is a program to sell product first and foremost. Yeah. You know, if you're a pure designer selling just design, you can use 2020 for that, certainly. But, you know, you're probably less likely to. And I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but you know, it's really was designed to sell cabinets. And
well, a lot of interior designers, they outsource their designs or have you know, someone else working on their designs. But yeah, we have on the website, we have examples of what that design package will look like. So you can click on examples and see, you know, the PDFs that you will receive and an example of the actual rendering you'll get. So I am not I don't make the prettiest renderings either. I
don't know. You won one of the categories a couple of years ago in 2020's inspiration contest, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, in 2018 I did.
Yeah. So
and that did take a lot of time, but
yeah, it does. It does.
I try to focus on, you know, selling, like you were saying, selling the cabinets. It's great for that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think it's fabulous. It makes ordering cabinets so easy. We had a question yesterday about live order. And when I used it, I thought it was great because you do your design, you can ship it off right away. And with you guys, I'm not quite sure how you do it. I was very old school. I used to fax everything.
It's funny. I was
That's
just
crazy.
talking to. I was
I've
just talking
only
to.
done like 2 faxes in my life.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody at Omega this morning, and we were talking about fax. I said I have avoided faxes for at least the last 3 years, if not more. I absolutely cannot stand the medium. It's as bad as handing somebody a piece of paper that then they lose it. And then what do you do? I mean, some fax machines have a buffer so that it keeps them in memory for a while. Or if you use a computer to do your faxing or your fax receiving, then it stays in there forever. But there's no permanent record with fax.
Yeah.
You know, with email, you have a paper trail, you have that permanently, and it's more legible, quite honestly. You know, you print to a PDF, it's crystal clear. Just the first generation of a fax is difficult to read in some cases, but you go to an additional generation of a fax, you fax a fax and forget it. You can't read it at all. So it's 50-year-old technology. It is.
I did
It's not that old, is it?
I'm gonna look it up.
I learned how to order by handwriting orders. So I mean, for a long time I was handwriting orders, and then I had to get the habit of not doing that. I actually have never used the 2020 live order. I still manually enter my orders. So
you manually enter. Yeah.
And then I key it in. They have an option to import, but I just like to know that I don't know. I like to.
No, I understand totally. You feel safer the way you do it, right?
Same reason I use a normal tape measure. I don't have a laser tape measure. But
Me too. I think we need to have a class on laser tape measures.
So the first commercialized version of the modern day fax machine is introduced and patented by the Xerox Corporation using telephone transmission. Guess the year. Guess the year.
1965?
Oh, you are so close.
What is it?
64.
Well, think about when computers.
So it's 56-year-old technology.
Wow.
It's interesting. eFax, who I used a lot back when I started hating fax machines, I'd use eFax. But the first mechanical fax was invented in 1843. It was called an electric printing telegraph machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Now I don't even know why they give you the option to write in a fax number on anything. They should just erase
I haven't had a fax number in at least 10 years. I haven't had a fax number in 10 years.
Never had one.
And you probably never will.
No.
Yeah, thank God.
Never had a landline either.
Unless the internet, you never what?
Had a landline, like phone.
Oh, that's freaky. That's freaky. Yeah, that's wild. I was just thinking if we have an apocalypse of some kind and we have to go back to the copper wire transmission method, then faxes will come back. Everything will come back. You'll have a princess phone and a rotary dial.
See, I'm just afraid of the internet going down.
So wait. Justine, have you ever been in the presence of a rotary dial phone?
Probably at like an antique store or something. I don't know if I could dial a number.
Probably not.
Oh man.
You don't need to learn.
No, you don't need to know.
Life is going way too fast, isn't it?
It is.
I also don't wear watches. Like I don't see a point in a watch if you have your phone right next to you.
Oh, because you use your phone. Interesting.
Well, I only wear an Apple Watch. So
I wear a watch.
It can do so much other cool things, so many other cool things besides just a watch. But yeah, I haven't worn a regular watch in forever. So yay, technology.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if they're cute, I will wear a watch, but
so it's just as an accessory.
In them.
Yeah. I mean, someday, I don't think I even would. I was gonna say someday maybe I'd like to own like an antique Rolex. Like they make a Mickey Mouse. They made a Mickey Mouse. Actually, I guess every year they've had like a Mickey Mouse Rolex. Like I would wear like a Mickey Mouse Rolex, like an antique one, like from the 60s.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But
I'd wear a Rolex.
But a lot of those are self-winding, so you really don't have to do anything with them. You just have to have a little jiggly thing in your bureau to wind it all, keep it wound. So let's talk a little bit about, because you're the first returning member of the 2020 Design Live advisory council. So we have to add the live to it because
the council. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was a really neat thing that they did, and it, like you said, it was nice because we got to get together in person last September in Montreal, and they hosted us, and it was really nice. They gave us sneak previews of the Easy Render, because it was just part of 2020 Fusion. For those that don't know, 2020 has multiple products, and 2020 Fusion is their product for continental Europe. They use it more. Actually, no, I think it's more the UK. Somebody will have to correct me on that. I'm not really sure. I know that it's there's just a very narrow market that uses 2020 Fusion, but they had created Easy Render for that specifically from the ground up. So we got to see that first, and then we got to see. I guess it's going to be coming out in beta soon. They have a CRM program that they are incorporating into 2020. So contact resources management program that allows you to, have all of your contacts and everything just kind of integrated with 2020, which they have, but nobody ever really uses it, and it's kind of clunky, and it kind of fell by the wayside. But yeah, it's nice to be able to talk with them about stuff that they have upcoming.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that CRM program, but I really thought it was cool that they, took the time, a big company like that took the time to fly everyone out, and it was such a diverse group of people that I feel like we were really able to bring a lot to the table, from that meeting that we had that first day. We were there. It was a lot of fun. Just getting to talk about our issues, what we like about 2020, what we would like to see. And we all had different ideas and opinions. So I thought it was cool. And it was a lot of fun. I loved going to Montreal and getting to know everyone. And it's just great that a big company would think to invite the users to, come tell them what we think. So.
Right. And I think they did a good job selecting a diverse group of users.
Right.
Did you say that already?
Yes.
You didn't say it.
Yeah, because there was big.
I just like repeating what other people say, and just making it sound different.
A sole kitchen and bath designer in the Seattle area. But then there was also, larger companies and cabinet dealers. So it was great. Yep.
Yeah. And Karen, unfortunately, they're not going to have anything live this year. So Karen is newly inducted into the Design Advisory Council, Design Live Advisory Council. So that's excited to have her because she's got a great wealth of knowledge. So we're one of these designer spotlights is going to be you, Mrs. Hockley. So get ready. Mrs. So get ready.
It sounds like my mom. No.
So get ready, because that's, you have a very, very interesting story, and we need to speak with you about it. But anyway, so what did you think of this format? A little bit less formal, a little bit more conversational. I think it worked pretty well. Justine, do you have anything that you'd like to add? Any shout outs? So just, if you could just say how people can get in touch with you if they want to get, pick your brain about, anything really. I mean, you're a wealth of knowledge, about this industry after such a short time. So it's really cool, but so it's, I want to make sure I get the website right. So it's Dovetail Design 1D, right?
It's easier to say dovetail-edesign.com.
So Dovetail E-Design. See, I did wonder, that was one thing I was going to ask you if that's how you, because it's so in conversation you call it dovetailed, but when you say the website, you say dovetail-edesign.com.
Yep. And the reason we named it dovetailed is because it's supposed to, the dovetail joint is one of the strongest joints. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to symbolize dovetailing, like the DIYers with the professional kitchen designers, and going back to getting your product all locally and not outsourcing things.
Yeah.
Overseas. So
That's really cool. And I think that your message, as I think invariably will end up designing for folks across the country. It's still an American-made product. Let's face it. Excuse me. There are so many products that we spec, or that are out there to spec, that are not American-made. So, it's great that you're doing it for your corner of the world, but also, expanding that across the country. It is all still American-made.
Right.
So,
and it's not the cheapest. I mean, I'll say that, but I think it's important. And yeah, we do hope to be designing, all across the country. And I've helped family members and friends, in other states design things, but I would like to reach everyone. All of our packages are named after all of the bridges too in Washington and Oregon. So wondering why Fairfax is, and it's not just called Farmhouse. That's why. So it's something like bringing us back to local.
Yeah, bridges are a big part of your life out there, aren't they?
Yeah, there are a lot of bridges over here.
Neat. Karen,
I think you have a great company. I was so thrilled to hear about it. It's such an exciting adventure.
Thank you.
So I think I'm going to just head to the chat. I don't think anybody actually asked any questions, but I think going forward, what I'd like to do is just encourage people when they show up, if they have questions during it, that they ask them. But yeah, so I think if nobody has anything else, I know that you have something going on at the top of the hour. So I think we're going to call this one. So Justine, thank you very, very much for being on today. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Justine.
And we'll be back again next week. So this will be on YouTube, and also you can share it wherever you'd like to share it. So
Awesome.
All right. Well, with all of that said, I'm actually just going to stop the stream. So folks on Facebook, thank you again so much for watching. There were 9 of you today, so that's fantastic. I appreciate that. And we'll see you all around the group.